Okay, share the screen to media player near. Maybe. No. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. How's it going so far?
Oh, we just out here rocking and rolling and whatnot.
Okay.
Thing. Or
Mm.
rolling and rocking and not what. It's more of that.
As long as it's something, it's like movement and progress.
Yeah. Trying to cook at the same time. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. It's been a lovely day. It was kind of toasty today, but it was all right.
Yeah, I didn't realize how hot it was until I got ready to go outside and cut the grass. I'm like, what's the temperature? Oh, it's like 90. Oh, nope, I'm not gonna do that.
Fair. Yes, it's pretty toasty out there for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. What we talking about?
It is 6:32. Wow, okay. Well, we're already 2 minutes behind then. So, I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you so much for coming and caring about Jubilee. Normally, I like things to be pretty interactive, but for today, I'm just going to keep it moving so you guys can get back to your families or whatever you normally like to do on Sunday evening. So, hi, Jasmine. So, you'll have to bear with me a little bit. I do know how to use Zoom. It just usually takes me a minute. So, looks like I'm sharing my screen and I'm going to present this slideshow. I am. Okay, welcome. It looks like hopefully I'll be able to still be able to see if someone else comes so I can let them in. Thanks again for coming tonight. Like I said, we'll keep it moving. Just like quickly, what the Jubilee mission is. So this is from when I used to go to the Fledge a lot and learned how to like pitch my business your pitch always highlights a problem, and then, your business is the solution. So the problem is there's not enough support for households working to overcome homelessness. The solution is Jubilee, a network that connects disadvantaged community members in the greater Lansing area with effective support and transformative opportunities. And the way we do that is primarily through our concept of community sourced permanent supportive housing. It's kind of like the comprehensive system that we use to evaluate several different areas of support that people kind of need in their life if they're going to make some changes and sustain those changes and basically be, like healthy and all the good sorts of things that we want to be. We do primarily focus on supporting households that are working to overcome homelessness. And so, yeah, we have a few different ways that we do that. Here's some of our programs we're doing this year. We have PSH case management. So we have a contract with the Housing Commission to do case management with about 24 people that have permanent housing with them. Permanent supportive housing is a service model that includes like housing and then basic connection to community resources and case management to make sure that people are able to stay in their housing after they've been homeless, like, for usually typically over a year or more. So yeah, we have a contract with the Housing Commission to do case management for those guys. We're getting about $50,000 this year to do that. With our Bright Futures initiative, we are kind of focused on youth that are like elementary school age, and we just give them opportunities and experiences and support that's typically accessible to middle class families, but not always accessible to households that are working to overcome homelessness. So some of the things we've done this year with those kids, which are 7 and 8, is we grew some plants. We went to an alpaca show. We've been to Frederick Meyer Gardens in Grand Rapids a couple times, and lots of beaches and swimming and a few VBS days and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, that's what we're doing with that. The Storytelling Coalition is kind of where we are trying to empower people to be able to share their stories in impactful ways. So we give them opportunities to share their stories. We make sure they're ready to do that. We have started a podcast, and we're working on like a few different projects with that. Let me check these text messages real quick. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's more people to let in. I don't know how to do that. It looks like everyone is in here, so. So I'm just gonna keep it moving. This is slide 2 of the programs that we're doing this year, just to kind of execute our mission and flesh out that concept of community source permanent supportive housing. I did include the email, like a lot of description about like exactly what those programs are doing, more about our mission and vision. So you guys can kind of refer back to those for more details if you want. Ideally, we'd love to be able to offer a whole comprehensive system of holistic support to every household that's working to overcome homelessness. And that would kind of equal our community source permanent supportive housing. For now, we don't have enough funding or capacity to do that. So we just kind of have to break it into programs so that we can, start to show the community what that looks like and why it's valuable. On to our next slide. Yes, we're going to talk about when September ends. So this is Jubilee's annual flagship community event. Our organization kind of started as this event. It does have a great deal of personal significance to me, like the name When September Ends. It's kind of cute because it happens at the end of September, but it's more significant than that. I won't go into the details right now. Here's a few flyers from years past. I did start to share that our organization kind of started as this event If you're not familiar with some of the details of my story, I did experience homelessness myself and ended up finding refuge at the City Rescue Mission. So for the first couple years after the City Rescue Mission, this event served, after I left the City Rescue Mission, this event served as kind of like a fundraiser for the City Rescue Mission and just a platform for me to talk about some of the ideas I was hoping to bring into fruition. For the last several years, it's been like a full day festival at the Fledge where we have the road closed down. This year, because of all the growth and things that Jubilee has going on, I haven't really had the capacity to do much event planning. So, it's going to be a little bit more simple this year. It's going to be kind of just bringing together some of the people we've been working with, encouraging them to share their testimonies. We hope to be vision casting for what we want the event to kind of grow into as the years go by, like full day festival where we bring together a community of all kinds of people that are invested in ending homelessness in Lansing. So, that would just be like a full day of story sharing and that sort of thing. For this year, we're just going to keep it short, probably 2 hours. We're thinking 6 to 8, but that's still not solidified yet. Thinking have a salad bar available. And we are hoping that you will invite your friends that you think might be great Jubilee board members. We'll have available for the first time that night application materials so people can apply to the board and more details about the requirements and just the process and everything that they would need to know. Next, the call to action. Yes, Jubilee needs board members. So we're kind of at capacity for pretty much what I can handle as the main person responsible for running Jubilee in order to, keep executing our mission and working towards our vision. We do need more people to kind of be more aware of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, what our specific individual clients need, and how we can support them. And when it comes to so one of the big differences between Jubilee and the typical permanent supportive housing programs that are out there is that we work to help our clients or the people that we work with identify how they want to build positive community for themselves and have more support in their lives. And that kind of requires that we need more people invested in, being willing to engage and start to build relationships with some of the people that we're working with in our programs. So I personally haven't had a whole lot of luck with that. I'm hoping that, as we get together like a board, that's one of the things that we can work on and just move forward is like building out communities that are ready to receive people that are working to overcome homelessness and do a great job of including them in, whatever the main parts of their community looks like. So moving on to board member prerequisites. So if it's not clear yet, what I'm hoping that you guys will do is look around in your network and your friends, in your professional circles and social circles, and think about if there's anyone that you know that might be a great Jubilee board member. And this is a list of, it looks like about 8 characteristics or prerequisites. I would say if they had 5 or 6 out of that 8, then they're probably a pretty good candidate. These aren't like hard and fast rules. We just really do want people that are dependable and will follow through on their commitment and, are ready to get invested in some impactful way to help bring forward Jubilee's mission. These are board member expectations and contributions. Their initial commitment will be to serve a 1-year term. We're not really sure what's happening after that yet. For the meetings, it's going to be a minimum of quarterly board meetings of about an hour. If the board wants to meet more frequently or longer than that, it will be up to them to decide as a group that they would like to do that. Financial support, they can contribute an amount of $1,500 or fundraise it towards Jubilee's operational budget, or if it works better for them, they can do volunteer time and do like 7 hours of volunteer work per month. And there's all kinds of ways they could volunteer in some way that's meaningful to them. So the next steps, if you would like to see Jubilee continue on into 2025 and beyond, is to brainstorm about who you can invite and watch your inbox for these tools that are coming up. I'll send, that list of prerequisites and requirements. I've got a couple templates I'm going to send. There's a template for an email that you can use to invite people. Also, like a template of talking points for a conversation. Excuse me. I'll send some more information and a flyer about our event. I think I have to sneeze. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So in the form, I asked if there was some questions. And one of the questions was, where does Jubilee's funding come from? The majority of our funding this year is coming from our contract with the Housing Commission. We're getting about $50,000 to provide case management for those. It started out as 24. Several of them are doing pretty good in their housing and are moving to Section 8 so that we can eventually open up more permanent supportive housing spaces. So I'm not exactly sure what the number will be moving forward, but yes, around 24 is what we started with. And $50,000. We also got a grant from the Health Equity Committee to do our health coaching program. If you clicked add to our email, you can stay tuned to that for more information about what we did with the health coaching. So the grant for the health coaching was $13,000. We also got a grant from the Junior League, and that was to implement our farm to table project. And we're just taking some of the households that we're working with and connecting them with farmers that are going to bring produce that was grown at urban farms inside Lansing city limits. And they're going to take like some eggs and flowers and possibly some apothecary stuff as well, and recipes, and just kind of educate them on volunteer opportunities if that's something they're interested in. So we hope that our farm to table project will grow into something that, ultimately has people growing or being a part of a community that grows food, whatever that looks like for them in a healthy and sustainable way. That grant was $1,250. We got a private donation of $5,000. And we haven't done too much fundraising this year, so we haven't got like too many other private donations. I would say that's right around 1,000 for the year. So I didn't total that out, but I can. Maybe I should do that. I think one of the other questions was, what is Jubilee's biggest needs? And that is just some more people to be more invested in our mission. And, right now we're kind of paying for things that we could be getting donated. And if we had more people to kind of make that happen, that would be like more, responsible and that sort of thing. So yeah, just more people that are invested and ready to support in whatever way makes sense for the clients and programs that we got going on at that point in time. So the next steps are, yeah, I think I already went over that. I guess that didn't take a whole half hour. If anybody has any questions, now is a great time.
I have a question.
Okay.
So let's say that I was talking to a potential board member and maybe they, are one of those people that likes, they like the emotional appeal. Is there like a testimony or story? Of course, no names necessary, but of like someone that Jubilee has helped that might like kind of show the story of Jubilee, like what you've done, like in a specific person's life, and then I could like build on that idea?
Yeah, that's a great idea because we do have a video on YouTube of a lady that we helped named Elizabeth. So I can be sure to send that to you guys so you can forward it or share it in whatever way makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rich, you got your hand up.
I do. How are you, Erica?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Good. First of all, I want to commend you on bringing folks together. I think this is an important, really an important time in the organization's lifespan to try and figure out how best to move forward. And you're right, you can't do it all. So let me ask just some basic kinds of questions real quick, just for my edification. In terms of your founding board, how many board members do you have?
We currently only have myself as a board member.
Yeah, okay, that's a problem because that's you and only you. What about, well, I can ask that offline. What do your bylaws say about board members in terms of number of number of board members?
So I believe it's like a minimum of 3 up to 13.
Yeah. I think you really want to try and get as many board, I mean, not like 100, but as many board members as possible to help you with this. Fundraising is important. You did a fundraising program, I think it was about a year and a half ago, at a church. Do you recall how much you raised at that? I was there, and
Yes.
Kevin was there, and
Yes. And Joe was there. He was the MC in March of 2023. So I don't know the total amount raised, but I do know the profit was $800.
okay. Yeah, because I think fundraising is a really important piece, and everybody's going to tell you that, and that individual fundraising is really the key to success. However, what I'm going to say contradicts that a little bit, in that relatively newer organizations really depend a lot on grant funding, and that's okay. It's really about the opportunity cost. If I spend 3 months doing a fundraiser that brings in $800, or I spend that time writing grants, generally speaking, you're gonna do better on the grant side, again, especially as a new organization. So what do you need from a budget standpoint to continue? That doesn't mean you have to have dollars in the hand, but like your projected figure.
So our operational budget was about $18,000 to $20,000. So that's what it would be nice if the board could raise. I understand this first go round that might not be practical or realistic, but that would be nice. And through our contract with the Housing Commission, we've got all that covered already. It would just be nice to so one of my goals for the board is to think, so again, I'm just one person, so it's not even going to be possible for me to use that money responsibly or ethically, because that's not how responsible and ethical boards function, is just have one person in control of the money. So I'm not really faulting myself, but that's one of the things that I really hope the board can come together and work on intentionally, is developing a financial strategy. I definitely have a lot of things in mind and ideas, but I'm not an expert also. So I just want some groupthink to go into that. And that's one of the things that I really hope that the board can work on and start to flesh out, is a real solid plan for the money. And, I don't know what I want the profit from the contract to do instead of fund our operational budget. I guess I do want to work towards hiring another case manager, because that's gonna bring us a lot of profit pretty quickly when we can do that. And then I would also like to think about, in the next within 5 years, probably giving myself a salary because I'm a full volunteer right now, so.
And I can tell you that I would certainly support that. Oh, sorry, I was trying to take my phone, my hand down. Yeah, I think that's something that is important too, which is to pay yourself. Now, I know when you're talking about you know, trying to an organization trying to survive, that's not the top priority. But I do think that's something that a board should be very cognizant of. It's really supporting their executive director and founder
Yeah.
financially.
Might be a good idea. Thanks, Rich. Jenny, can you got your hand up?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. So I feel all your pain. I know how it is running a nonprofit. You know, I feel your pain, and having to do so much of it by yourself. That is really difficult. And I feel like I really do want to help Jubilee because I feel like what you're doing is such a great thing for the community. I have some people that I know would be interested in a board member position. I don't think one of them can make it to the event, one of them being a sister of mine who's moving back from Arizona. She actually is going to be like an actual caseworker for, I think it's like, I can't remember it might be through community mental health. I'll have to ask her, but she's going to be like a case member, but she also wants to like volunteer in the community. So I know she would be very interested. She just cannot make it to the end of September thing. So I would love to like connect you with her. But I have a few other people. So do you know the exact date of the end of September event?
Yes, it's
Okay.
Saturday, September 28th.
Okay, the 28th. Okay. And then you said possibly 6 to 8.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And I would love to help with that event. So I know personally, because I run my own nonprofit, it's really hard for me to spread myself even more thin, but I really want to extend like help finding people. And I would love to help with the event, volunteer, whatever. And then I would also love, I know that we've partnered in the past, but I would love to come up with another way to partner again with Positive Somebody and Jubilee to help, get grant funding and everything. So that would be great if we could do something like that as well. But I'll connect with you so I can connect you with the people that can't make it to the event. But just put me on the list to help with the event. Let me know what you need, and then I can be there to help during the event as well.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll put my hand down.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay. I would love to hear it.
What or how can the media, social influence, and even the larger arts community assist Jubilee with spreading the word for what it needs, and also a call to action for people who have the resources to help?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked because I was in I'm just gonna call it a listening session. I don't really know how else to talk about it right now. And they were asking about ideas to basically resolve homelessness. And I would love to see like a media campaign. Jubilee has our Operation End Homelessness campaign. So just kind of like a huge Operation End Homelessness. So we can educate people and come together as a community that cares about the people among us that are working to overcome homelessness and just be more aware of simple ways we can help them and just be more willing to be in relationships with them and help them as they build out their positive and constructive communities. So yeah, and that reminds me of your question about the pop-up events. So Jubilee's always willing to do events. It's just not always, we're not sure if Erica can do events by herself, but Jubilee would love to do pop-up events and spread awareness and get the word out and all that stuff. So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Rich, your hand's up again.
Yeah. Eric, I joined late. I was having difficulty connecting through no fault of yours. What is the event on September 28th?
It's called When September Ends. This will be the 8th year that we've had that event. It's a community event. Normally we'll close down the street in the Fledge and in front of the Fledge and have like a lot of vendors. I have kind of like a big vision of it growing into a festival that's about like, again, just bringing together a community that cares about ending homelessness and sharing stories. We usually like try to find a way to incorporate and incentivize participation by people that, have been homeless before and might do something like make jewelry or that sort of thing. If they do music, then we try to get them to perform and that sort of thing. So we try to get them involved and, have something positive to look forward to and have a good experience with it. And they usually find it pretty valuable. This year, I just haven't had as much time to do event planning, so it's going to be a lot shorter, more succinct, more like a reception. There'll be like a little bit of entertainment and maybe a few volunteers and a few activities, but not like what it usually is. So just bring people together and let them know that we need board members. And I expect that some people will be happy to share their like testimony about Jubilee and that sort of thing. So
And you have a partnership with Jubilee, or I'm sorry, with the Fledge,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
With the success that you've experienced this year, how much of that success has been echoed to the community through the media?
Like practically none, because I would usually do that and I'm too busy doing it to do any of that stuff.
Okay. Okay. That area has a lot of room for improvement.
It does, yes.
Okay.
Thanks for noticing. I'm trying to heart these comments, but I don't know how. So anyways, I really love Khadijah's comment. That's the best news. Thanks.
Yes, I'm serious, and I will text you to try and work out some kind of schedule so I can provide like material support in that way through my time and my body, giving rides and whatnot, whatever you need, I'm here.
I appreciate that a lot, and I'll definitely be in touch. I really appreciate you guys for taking this time tonight. It means a lot to me personally and to Jubilee. Is there any more questions, comments, concerns, feedback?
I think the only thing I really have is just make sure you reach out to me. I really do believe that what you're doing is a really great thing. And if I can just help facilitate when I have time and stuff, just make sure you reach out because if I have the time and the resources, I'm willing to help.
Well, I have an idea, and I bet it's something that's pretty simple for you, but really complicated for me. So I will
Okay.
talk to you very soon.
Sounds good.
Erica, also reach out to me, please.
Okie dokie, I'll do that. You got it. Well, if there's not any other questions, concerns, comments, or feedbacks, I will let you guys back to your evenings. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all you do. And I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, have a
All
great
right.
night, guys.
Ditto.
Thank you, Erica.
Mhm.